Welcome back to Season 5, Episode 6 of Teed Up, where everyone's a sports expert.
The podcast that makes you care about sports, including President Conley.
We're an original podcast created and produced by Long Beach State student-run newspaper, Long Beach Current. I'm Maddie G.
I'm Maddie C. And today, we have 6'8" freshman phenom from Sofia, Bulgaria, Moni Nikolov. He's led the team. Yes, thank you for being here. He's led the team to a 14-0 start. Might honestly be the most famous person to ever be on this podcast.
It is true. You outdo our president, our athletic director.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Even your coach. No. All right, so we'll get it started. We're both kind of dying to know. We saw in another podcast, have the kids in your dorm started showering more frequently?
No.
No.
It's still an ongoing problem?
Still an ongoing problem.
What are you in, Parkside?
Parkside
Yeah,
North.
we know those. Those. I do.
Smelly corridors and everything. But get used to it at one point, fortunately.
Damn.
Was dorm life a hard adjustment at first?
Not really, because being with the national team in Bulgaria, every summer you're practically living in a dorm for like 2 or 3 months with a teammate or a roommate. So it wasn't that hard adjusting, but it's definitely is worse than living at home with my parents.
You get those dining hall meals.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty rough.
How about the beds? Are they long?
Oh no.
No.
Not at all. Not at all.
This is a big one for me. Would you say you have aura?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really have a thought. Never really thought about it, but I didn't really even know what aura is before coming to America.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like an American thing for me, but I think it's like, I honestly do not even know what exactly aura is.
It's kind of like I don't know.
Honestly, I don't have a way to describe it. It's just like you see it and
You just got it.
Yeah, like the
LeBron.
presence.
It's kind of like swag, I
Yeah.
guess.
Like the presence, like
Yeah.
when you walk in a room.
Mm.
Presence.
Yeah.
I'd say I have some just because I'm tall, maybe a little
Yeah,
bit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite like American like slang term that you've learned since you've come over here?
Yeah, it's what I'm saying, but you say it, you know what I'm saying, like really
Oh,
fast.
you know what I'm saying?
Just kind of
Yeah,
flow
it's
off
my
the
favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
You got it off a teammate here at Long Beach. So nice.
I got a favorite slang term. It's unk. I'm curious. You're 18.
Yeah.
How old do you think I am?
You're 24.
Pretty close,
Dang.
actually.
Yeah.
25. You're
Wow.
7 years older.
Yeah.
Is that point, like, am I unk status?
No, not yet. I think
Okay. Everyone in the
I think he
newsroom
is.
calls me an unk.
Yeah.
I just learned people don't know what Vine is.
Unk is like the presence, the vibe of.
Yeah.
just
I think
having-
unk's a good thing though, honestly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Unk might be like you're wise. You're a wise person. You're
Okay.
elder.
Speaking of your teammates, who would you say has been the easiest to build chemistry with since you've gotten on the court this year?
I'd say mostly the people that I train with in the same team every day.
Mhm.
So the starters,
Yeah.
logically, because since day one, since fall, we've been training every single day. And I think our chemistry's gotten really good, for a couple months training. Definitely has been better than this B team or the second team that I don't really set every day.
Mhm.
I'd say my two outsides, Skylar Varga and Satiris Sepanis. We have a really good chemistry together. I think chemistry is also built off the court, and I think we really like each other off the court, not only with them, but just like with everybody. So I think, there's people that just like each other, they force each other to like each other in court, but, we're just a team that really enjoys spending time also outside of the court. So, yeah.
I know I heard that before coming to Long Beach this year, you'd only been to the U.S. once, right?
Correct.
So with that, like, when you first came over, were you mostly with the freshmen kind of adjusting, or was it like some of the veterans on the roster?
I was mostly with the freshmen because, we live at the same place,
Mhm.
and they're also like new, even though they're Americans. It's also like pretty new to them, like the whole college life. So we kind of just supported each other, and to this day we still help and stay with each other.
And then, obviously, first impression, your brother played here, but what was kind of your first impression of, you get to Long Beach State? got the pyramid there. Have you interacted much with Coach Knight beforehand, just with your brother being here, or was this kind of the recruiting process kind of your first time?
You mean with Alan Knight? Like,
yeah.
We did talk just like a little bit during like when my brother was playing here. It was my first time. My first time being here. I was watching the Final Four at UCLA. So we really talked for like a couple minutes. I talked more with the assistant coaches, but nothing serious or anything. And then a couple months ago, from that point was when like they kind of contacted me. They showed interest in having me here, and then it was really easy for me to, know that I want to come here. I think I committed November 20th, 2022, something like that.
Okay, so you've known for a while.
Yeah. So a couple years, and I have no regrets coming here ever since.
When you're on the court, do you cuss in Bulgarian?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. It's so very refreshing here, because nobody understands. And you have one or two Bulgarians on the court every time. So I just cuss fast in Bulgarian.
Yeah.
But it's amazing because nobody understands. You can insult, whoever's looking at you. You don't understand. So it's refreshing. It helps me.
Going off of kind of being a setter, did you ever feel boxed in by your size and like setting wasn't going to be an option? And like how long do you feel you can continue setting?
I wouldn't say boxed, but I've definitely had some doubts. A couple years ago where I was already like the tallest in the team, and I was thinking to myself like, okay, if I keep growing, there has to be like a certain height where it's starting to be uncomfortable to become a setter, However, I think adjusting to the play, even with my height, is something that I'm good at, and with the right amount of weightlifting and training and speed and movement and coordination, I think I'm doing pretty well for my height, and I'm also a pretty big threat being front row, so I know teams are stressing over that.
And then what comparison, we talked a little about being an NBA guy, what comparison do you get more, maybe like a Victor Wembanyama or I don't know how much you watch baseball, or Shohei Ohtani? He's kind of a two-way star.
Yeah, I don't really watch baseball at all, but
little Wemby.
Yeah, definitely heard some Wemby here and there, which is amazing. But LaMelo Ball is my guy, and
trying to emulate him.
Yeah, right, I feel like if he was a volleyball player, we would play the same. I feel like I play like LaMelo Ball, but a different sport.
You ever get on the basketball court?
Oh yeah.
How many points could you drop?
Like where? College? Here?
Yeah, we're gonna say here, Long Beach State.
With this training that I have, I'll drop 8.
Okay.
8?
If I was like full-time training, definitely would have been an NBA.
We keep losing by like 2 points, so I mean 8 points right now would be huge for our team.
But like if I have to play tomorrow, I feel like I can drop 8 points with the zero training and everything. But if I trained the same amount of volleyball, but basketball, for sure would have been NBA first pick. Fucking amazing.
Bro, I'd like to see that.
I just have it. I feel like I have it in me.
The alternate universe where you pick basketball.
I'm gonna shoot Chris Hacker an email right now.
They were looking for walk-ons at the beginning of this year.
Honestly.
Yeah, low-key I'm a little disappointed. I don't play basketball.
Yeah.
With like the money and everything, and also it's just really fun.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is like so great here in America, but then in Europe it's different. In Europe, obviously basketball is like again a really big sport, but volleyball is up there. Here volleyball is just nothing compared to basketball.
And then even with that, I mean, we've seen it in the past like few weeks and even like months. Like you're getting posted on ESPN, on TikTok. You're getting posted on SportsCenter. What's it like? How many times do you come up on your For You page? Do you ever like save edits of yourself and be like, this one's tough? Like, I'm going to save that.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes?
Sometimes. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I like every single, like even if it's a bad edit or something, every time I like it, just so.
Bro, I liked myself just because I was courtside the other night when you guys were playing Northwestern, and there was one. I think you ended the first set on a kill, and I saw myself in the front row. I was like, I'm liking that, even though it was you. I was like, damn. Yeah, just so I can like on the TikTok, for example, just so I can keep popping up on my screen. It's amazing. I really appreciate the love that I've been getting. It really means a lot. It helps you like gives you
tiny bit of motivation to go out and do well, even if you're playing against unranked team or not that good of a team. You go just because people pay to see you, like not me only, but they pay to see Long Beach, so you got to go out and perform.
I think a lot of people in America are calling it clip farming when you go out and try and get highlights.
Yeah, that's I don't know, man. I feel like you try to do something nice, it's called clip farm. When you literally just try to do a nice play, but it's just American, just how America is.
Box office. You're making people buy tickets. That's what it comes down to.
Were you expecting any of that? Because the two of us don't know volleyball outside of like Long Beach State. That's when we follow it. But were you expecting to come to the U.S. and just have fanfare? I mean, overseas, you're right, big talent talked about.
Not gonna lie, wasn't really. I don't know. Before coming here, media wasn't like a big part in volleyball at all.
Yeah.
I knew I would follow like every NBA team. Like you said, Sports Center, ESPN. I knew that literally everything gets posted, but I knew for volleyball, it's not like basketball or football. Yeah. So I wasn't expecting, honestly, a lot of like media or anything, because I just knew it was pretty small of a sport.
What was like the first play, remember? Because I know there's the fake sets.
Yeah.
The 80 mile per hour serve.
Yeah. Now
84.4. And then you were in 17 positions at once. What was like the caption for the Sports Center one?
What?
The Sports Center caption. It was like he's in 7 positions.
All over,
yeah.
I think it all started. We had a preseason games at Fresno.
Mm-hmm.
We were playing against like Pepperdine and Stanford and Menlo. And then I think that's the first time where people kind of saw how we played. It was a pretty, I wouldn't say packed, but there were people in the gym. And somebody posted a TikTok of me doing a fake set, which is something that I've been doing, at training. You also have to practice it. It just happened naturally. I knew I was going to make a point. And then it was posted like 2 hours after I did that play and already had like an insane amount of views. And then I think that's how it all started.
We talked about that 84 mile an hour serve. Has there ever been a point in your life where you think you can do harder, whether it be in practice? Like, could you get up to 85, 86?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Could we see 90?
90? 90 is a little too much.
Break out 90 in a Final Four game.
I think this ball, because this ball is different than the ball they play in Europe, I think this ball is easier to... like the way the radar works is the more the ball spins, the more miles, it says on the radar, and this ball has more grip, so you can, like, it spins more. So, it says it might be actually stronger. It says it's stronger than what it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try doing my best hitting 85.
All right.
Low-key, after my 84, I had some elbow issues, some shoulder issues.
Man.
So, yeah.
Volleyball player to get Tommy John.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
Road trips. Is it a lot different being here? US is pretty big. Traveling, is it bus mainly?
Yeah, we do. I think we've done one airplane trip to Reno, Nevada, which was a crazy experience for me. Like casinos everywhere, gambling, crazy. But I know we go. I think this season we don't have any East Coast games, so
until the end.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
hopefully, yeah. We go to Hawaii twice, so obviously you got to fly there, and I don't think hopefully Ohio, Columbus. But yeah, like road trips are nice. Everything is organized. Our coaches, or McKay Smith, he mostly does the whole like organization. He does an amazing job. Big shout out to him. He preps us with food, with rooms, with everything. Is like really smooth. It's better than my experience in Europe with like road trips.
I'm gonna throw you a little curveball here. Top 5 Lil Tecca songs.
Top 5 Lil Tecca songs. All right, number 1, Out of Love.
All right.
Number 2, A Lot of Me. Number 3, Ransom with Juice WRLD.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, I think it's called Number 2. Like the song is called Number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 5, let me think of something that not a lot of people know. One of his earlier songs.
Digging Deep.
I'm trying to do something different. You know, I don't want to say something popular, but
you can come back to it.
Yeah, I'll come
Drop
back
it mid podcast at the end.
I'll come back to it.
I know another thing mentioned in another podcast was that you said volleyball in the U.S. is all about systems. I know we interviewed Coach Knight for a different article about you, and he kind of mentioned that with you, he don't want to box you into a system and force you to play in a way that doesn't allow you to shine. How's he kind of, I guess, adjusted since the beginning when you came in?
That's the best thing a coach can offer to me, is to give me freedom to play. Obviously, like not too much freedom where like I start trolling, you know, do whatever I want. So he's giving me the perfect amount of freedom where we have a system which I think that, you know, if you follow, you're good, but if you I don't know how to say, if you like add a little bit more of like spice to it, then you just become really, really good. But I do think that America is all about system. It's about like following like blocking defense, you know, every time, especially like the teams that are not as good, they stick to like one system, and if something goes wrong, then they don't really know what to do. So I think that's the difference between the top 5 teams here in America and the teams that are like unranked.
I know when your brother was here, right, after he left, I remember talking to Alan, and his response to how do you replace him was you don't replace someone like Alex with one person. Did it kind of ever set in the shoes that you were going to have to fill if you came to Long Beach? Like
if you mean it as a way like pressure to perform, not really. I've always said this, but since I've been playing volleyball my whole life, literally my whole life, and because of my dad, I've been watching since like 2 years old, like always been in the gym watching games. It gets to a point where you're more under pressure taking like a psychology quiz, or for me, like taking a psychology quiz, than having to hit a ball at 24, you know, because ultimately it's what I do every single day. I literally cannot remember a day where I haven't thought about volleyball. And sometimes it's not always a good thing because you start feeling a little burnt out. But yeah, it's like you study for a test, you study well, you know you're going to do well. Or you know you're going to not be as nervous because you're prepared. If you don't study for a test, you're going to be like shaky. Like, I don't know what the test is about. I don't know what I'm going to answer. This is how I try to explain to people that are not athletes. Like, I'm just prepared. Like, we prepare, our whole team, we prepare for tough moments, and, you know, it shows on the court.
And then last year, I mean, Long Beach made it to the national championship, and then they lost, you know, a big group of their seniors that were starters. Did you guys feel like, in the fall, did you guys feel like this team, what were kind of your expectations? Are you where you guys thought you would be? Are you guys a little better than you thought you'd be?
Well, I didn't have any, I knew we had to be good because I mean, Long Beach is one of the best volleyball schools in the country. It's no doubt to anybody. I wasn't really thinking like, are we going to be 14-0? Are we going to, you know, we just wasn't really before the season. I didn't know really what to expect in terms of the other team's level. So it was, you know, it was exciting to see American volleyball and American college volleyball. But yeah, I knew we were going to be a good team, and we didn't set a goal like every week we have to be number 1 ranked. But yeah,
it doesn't hurt. Yeah.
It doesn't hurt.
We talked about a little bit the recruiting process, at least on the Long Beach side, but I know when you came over, you also tried to talk to UCLA's coach at the time, John Spiro.
My dad did, yeah.
Yeah, and he just kind of didn't seem interested. Did it make it a little bit sweeter, given that when you guys beat UCLA twice?
Swept them in their building, too.
Before I say anything, it was like now when we think about it, it's totally understandable why he did that. I mean, UCLA have, if not the best setter in the country, so like it's why would you take 2 setters, you know, in one position? There's no need. It was sweet. It was sweet. I'm sure if UCLA beat us, they would have also had that sweet feeling. We're probably gonna meet again. Hopefully gonna meet again in Ohio. So I'm excited for that, and yeah, it was sweet.
I have to say, you're very humble. I know after the game, I think I saw someone asking you if it was you or Andrew Rowan who was better. you went with Andrew Rowan. Does it kind of feel forced having like the volleyball community pushing you guys together as this rivalry?
I mean, honestly, a little bit, but it's also like you have the same rivalry, pushed rivalry in soccer, like Ronaldo, Messi. I mean, I'm sure like at the end of the day, they don't like hate each other or anything. It's just the media, they portray some hatred. Obviously, we're not Ronaldo or Messi, me and him. But yeah, I mean, I totally respect him. He's a really, really good setter. He's definitely the future of USA volleyball, and I know that. Like he helps me push. He probably help him, where he can push. So it's good to have that like high level competition.
And then beyond just those UCLA matches, how does it feel having a team? They lost to UCLA last year, but how does it feel having a team that's like motivated coming off that loss, knowing that they were so close? They're looking to get over the hump this year. How does it feel with a group of guys?
Yeah, I can tell the guys that lost last year and are still here, they're really hungry to finally get a ring.
Yeah.
It's inspiring because not being here, and then they kind of like shove that how do I say it?
Hunger for
from last year to this year, to like every training in the fall, to even like the weightlifting. We really want to get things done, and we really want to win. We just have to work, and we have to perform. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to perform if you want to win.
I know you mentioned being a psychology major in the quizzes. How's that kind of been, student life outside of the volleyball court?
That other stuff you got to do while you're...
Yeah, it's sometimes it's annoying, but also it gives me a little like balance. That I'm not only a volleyball player, I'm also a human before being an athlete. So sometimes just learning about stuff, because I feel like I'm a little behind of the education, because I've just said volleyball. Now it's good to like open my eyes a little bit and see that life is not only volleyball. So learning, like going to class and learning about whatever, socializing with different people about their lives, even if they're non-athletes, it's just interesting to see such diversity here. And it's just very, very nice.
It's an off week this week, right? No games. Yeah. Is there anything you're looking forward to that has nothing to do with the sport? You just have practice, probably weightlifting.
You mean like what I'm looking for the weekend?
Yeah. Is this your first free time in a while? I'm sure.
Yeah. So first things first, I will try to not think about volleyball at all. However,
once you leave the studio, you're done.
Yeah, however, Irvin and Hawaii play tonight. You gotta watch. You gotta watch that.
Tune in.
Yeah, but after that, I want 2 days of no volleyball. You feel way better when you come in on Monday and you practice. You feel like refreshed. You have that hunger to get better.
What do you think of Long Beach, just as a city?
I think
it's obviously different than.
Yeah, I think Long Beach is. I like being at UCLA when we were playing there and seeing Los Angeles for a bit. It was so like chill coming back to Long Beach. It's UCLA, or not UCLA, LA is just so like crowded. It's crazy.
I agree with that.
So much is going on. And then you come back here. Like the other day I was at Target. It was like 9:30, 10 p.m. and there was just nobody. I was just me and my teammate. It was like I really appreciated the quietness, which I'm sure doesn't really happen often in LA. So I like it. Chill.
I think that pretty wraps things up pretty much.
I'll let you get to not thinking about volleyball for a little bit. Yeah. Give you a little break before the game
tonight. Thinking about Lil Tecca song, but I can't find it.
Oh, the Lil Tecca song.
Drop it in the comment section of the YouTube. All right. We want to thank you for joining us for Season 5, Episode 6 of Teed Up. Thank you to our video and editor producer, Aiden Swanepoel, and our multimedia producer, El Nicklin. If you want to stay updated on the latest in Long Beach State sports, check out our website, lbcurrent.com, and follow us on socials at lbcurrent.
Any shout-outs for you before we let you go?
Shout out Long Beach, man. Shout out you guys. Shout out everybody here at Long Beach.
Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
See you later. We throw up big hearts at the end of every episode. There we go.
Yeah.